I just accidentally found my first 5-star read of the year in my first book, and I did not expect this because I've been procrastinating reading this book for over a year. I just didn't think I was going to like it. A Man Called Ove. I need to talk about this book actually because I have put off talking about it for a week to make sure that I actually wanted to give it 5 stars, and I do. I picked this book up a little while ago and read the first chapter, and because it was about a middle-aged grumpy man basically, I couldn't see myself enjoying it, so I put it down, and I was wrong. You need to read this book. If you are thinking what I was thinking, just continue. By the end of this book, I felt like I knew him. He was like an old friend, and I just didn't expect to understand him as a person the way that I did by the end of it. If you like the kind of books where you sort of slowly uncover more about their past and why they might be the way they are, you'll like this book. No book has been able to make me cry the way that this book did. I could not stop myself from crying while I was reading this book. Like, I was in public. The writing style, I love. Like, the quick, blunt, to the point, some description, but not too much description. It keeps the story going and it keeps me entertained because we're not focusing on the same thing for too long. And I loved that. But what I didn't expect was the amount of insanely moving quotes in here, like out of nowhere as well. You'd be reading, you would not be expecting anything, and then out of nowhere the author drops the most insane, like incredibly beautiful quote. And there were so many moments like that, so many moments where I had to stop, read a quote a billion times before I could move on because it was just like I was just feeling so much. There are quite a few themes in this book, like it honestly tackles a lot, but I think the ones that stood out most to me were you need to lean on people when you need help. Sometimes you have to ask. You shouldn't be doing everything on your own if you are struggling. As well as that, we've got love, and then we've got loss, or grief, I guess. And I just resonated with this book in a way that I really didn't think I was going to, because you think the main character, they're nothing like me. How are we going to relate? You can. I did. As well as that though, it's not a serious book. Like, there is so much in it that is funny. I was laughing so often. And like the characters in this book were just so good. And everything about it was just so good. Anyway, if you have this book and you've been procrastinating reading it like I did, please just read it. Even if you don't end up liking it, at least you can say you tried. This is honestly up there with one of my favorite books of all time, and I cannot stop thinking about it, and I cannot stop talking about it. And if you do read this book, or if you have read this book, can you just let me know what you thought? Because I feel like I have no one to talk to about this, and I'm like silently just stewing on how amazing this was.